Hey,
Hey, how'd you find me?
the engineer told me what happened. Said you'd probably be here.
Yeah, I've just been standing here thinking, taking it all in. But I just can't seem to figure out one thing. He told me that this was probably another Guardian that did this to me. Attacked me, and manually reset my whole system. The engineer had to re-download so much of me. And I still don't remember anything from before. Do you know what that's like? To have no idea what you are? Who made you? Where you come from?
Yeah, actually I do. Better than I'd like to. So what are you gonna do?
I'm gonna find who did this to me. And I'm gonna shoot him.
Wow, dark.
Yeah, that's one way to say it. Did you get what you needed from that audio log?
It was a bust. I'll have to keep searching.
I'll be doing the same thing. Hopefully our paths will cross again. Hey, who's that over there?
That warlock used to roll with the coyotes. He's telling us stories from when the city was first made.
Not everyone living in the last city has the benefit of practical immortality. As one of Shinobu's crew, I try to think like the rest of humanity. We ventured into the wilds, searching for those in need and leading them to the infant city. They started calling us coyotes. I had to look up what a coyote was to see if it was an insult or a compliment. In its early days, after the Battle of Six Fronts, the city was little more than shacks built from whatever scraps we could find among remnants of Golden Age tech. We lost so much during the collapse that almost nothing worked anymore, nor did we have any people with skills to operate that machinery. All we had were stories passed down from the original survivors and what the speaker told us. He's the masked figure that preaches. He is the voice of the traveler. I don't buy into it 100%, but his words inspire hope. That's all we really needed then. Hope. Anyway, as the walls went up, people with similar beliefs began to form what they called factions. These factions served a purpose at first, but then they just had to go ahead and ruin a good thing by fighting with each other. It's now known as the Faction Wars, and it nearly destroyed us from within. The three strongest factions brokered a deal with the Vanguard and the Speaker to help quell the rebellion. In exchange, they were given equal seats in a democratic governing body called the Consensus. I wasn't around during those times, as there were still people stranded in the wilds. I was, however, present at Twilight Gap. I remember that battle well. I had just returned with a small group of refugees when they struck. So many fallen, so many innocent lives lost. I saw the colors of the House of Devils, Winter, and Kings. They always used to fight each other, and to this day I wonder what caused them to unite. Some say they wanted to reclaim the Traveler for themselves, while others say they wanted the resources we had. Whatever the case, I sure know what finally broke them. The Titans were manning the walls, and manning them splendidly. The rest of us were given strict instructions to defend the interior in case any broke through the initial phalanx. This only happened when the Titans were mid-resurrection. We're immortal, not indestructible, after all. I was clearing a pocket that had broken through when I heard valiant screams and the clanking of battle frames. I blinked over to the commotion and noticed a Titan named Shax disobeying orders and pushing forward. He saw a break in the oncoming Fallen and used it to his advantage. It was a bold move, one I would never take. Being a Sherpa for barely armed personnel usually meant taking the path of least resistance. That meant only fighting when necessary. I couldn't believe my eyes. The push worked. Many Guardians began to follow suit and crash upon the Fallen like waves on a beach. Shax may have been insubordinate, but he was the key in that victory. Many heroes rose from that battle. Osiris, who went on to become the Vanguard commander, Lord Shax, and let's not forget Saint 14. I hear he's the reason we lit the red flare. He even caved in a Kel's head with his own in the process. Osiris went on to get involved with the Vex, a path that would ultimately lead to his exile. I heard Shinobu mention he was looking for volunteers to enter the Vault of Glass. At that point, I had never even left Earth, much less traveled to Venus and enter a Vex stronghold. Once the tide of refugees slowed, we were retasked to different ends of Sol. I was sent to find as much Golden Age tech and information as I could. With the wall built and the city thriving, more was needed. I remember running into Ikora before she became the Warlock Vanguard. Man, she was ferocious in those days. There was also an Exo calling himself Cade 6. I recall another Cade who went to Mars on assignment. Wonder if there's a connection there. Regardless, by this point in time, we were taking orders from Zavala. Osiris was long gone. Saint 14 had been killed looking for him. There was also the curious story relating to a powerful titan from the Dark Age named Rezel Azir. The story goes that he went to Luna in search of a nightmare. He found his prey and set upon it in the name of the city. Several days later, he emerged, but changed. He called himself Yor, Dredgen Yor, and his pistol held some dark magic that we did not understand. Many others began reporting of this new enemy present on Luna. Fresh from our victory at Twilight Gap, we thought ourselves invincible. So it was decided that we would attack at their doorstep. I was doing recon at the time when I heard the news. Thousands of Guardians dead, at the feet of some hive god named Crota. I tipped my canteen in their honor and continued my task. After all, I was light years away. I would be no help to them. Ariana 3 organized a squad to try and kill this godlike creature. Those damn fools. It seems not everything Talon said were ramblings of a madman. So Dredgen Yor eventually became too dangerous and hive-like to keep in the Vanguard ranks. He began stealing the light of fellow Guardians, even got a hold of Pahanin. They kicked him out, but he stayed on Earth. I guess he wanted to try to destroy the hope that he felt he was responsible for creating. He found his way to Polemon and killed Jaren Ward just outside its borders. Jaren was a dear friend of mine, and I felt his loss as if he was family. As soon as I heard the news, I began tracking down this bloodthirsty bastard myself. Later, I learned that a boy named Shen Malfer killed him by manifesting a golden gun. Now I know us Guardians were created from the husks of those who could wield light as a weapon, but this kid did it without needing to be resurrected. Even I was impressed by this, after everything I've witnessed. Now, the city thrives, and the coyotes have been tasked to watch and wait for new Guardians coming into the tower. We're supposed to monitor them, be the Vanguard's eyes and ears out there. I feel like a damn babysitter sometimes. Every few days I hop in my ship, venture into the wilds, and just rough it like old times. Gotta keep those skills sharp, in case something ever happens and we need to brave the wilds again. On my last assignment as sitter, this new Guardian came in from outside the walls. She had an air of power about her I haven't felt in centuries. While watching her, I noticed a strange Exo doing the same. I want to know where she got her tech from. Never seen a pulse rifle like that before.